How hard is it to be an entrepreneur? Well, it depends on you. Do you have the gift? Do you have talents? Do you have the motivation? Let's talk about what it's going to take. I don't think it's hard to be an entrepreneur. I would never go back. I'm unemployable. Some of you, you're just going to have to be an employee. So I'm going to tell you the truth because most people just sugarcoat it and say, it's just so fabulous. It's not. So here's what we're going to talk about. We're talking about the reality. We're going to talk about the cost benefit and what it takes. Number two, we're going to talk about literally the skill set. I'm going to go through the departments and the skills you need, which means you are not doing this alone. No such thing as a self-made millionaire, self-made really good entrepreneur either. They're team-made because you got to have a lot of skills and no one tells you that. They say, oh, you're just the best pie maker. Go open a pie store. So then you have a whole bunch of great pies and no buyers because you have no distribution. And then number three, we'll talk about the systems and teams and the basics you need to get started. I actually have more faith in all of you. You just have to be motivated to want it. And you have to be wanting something bigger than just covering your household expenses. You have to have a mission beyond yourself. So what's the reality of being an entrepreneur? Well, in the beginning, you don't know what the heck you're doing. Your first $100,000 is the hardest darn money you'll ever make. Why? Because you don't know what you're doing. You've been trained as an employee in a certain skill set, and then you're operating in an entrepreneurial venture with an employee mindset. That totally doesn't work because you don't just get a rock up for 8 hours and go home, and no one's just going to drop, a chunk of money in your bank account every 2 weeks just because you showed up. You actually have to do the exact things in the right time and the right sequence. So the cost benefit, there's a huge cost in the beginning because you don't know what you're doing. Now, how do you shortcut it? Get a mentor, a good one. Like I am really nitty gritty down to the bank account. What do you do every day? What's your revenue producing day? I was mentored. I still have mentors. If you're unwilling to be mentored as an entrepreneur, I think you're going to choose a really hard, long path. I have had mentors, like I said, 17. They've been in business, a lot in business. I've done just marketing. I've just done sales training. I have done accounting training. I mean, every division. So let's go there. What does it take to run a company? Think about just the basics of a department, the sequence of what it takes to get cash flow. Well, first you got to market. You need a lead. So if you go to Ask RMS, which stands for AskRapidMarketingSystems.com, for a very small fee, we will get all of that set up for you because you've got to get out and get a lead off the internet or in whatever marketing channels. And then that lead, marketing, has to become a client. That's sales. Now you have to take that lead as fast as you can and sell it. Then you do accounting because you just got some money. So you got somebody interested, you sold them, you count the money, now you fulfill. Now you're gonna need customer service, operations, technology, all of that around it. And probably some compliance depending on what kind of industry you're in. So you don't have all those skill sets, nor do you want to learn them all. It's not worth your time. It's better to hire experts in every one of those categories. So you lead it, they do it. You say, well, we don't have enough money to do it. That's why I want you to actually go to my search bar. And I have a lot of videos on how to get started bootstrapping, how to get started with nothing. I have a millionaire intensive. Go to my link below. Come show up at my marketplace. Learn to sell. Every 3 weeks, I have an 8-hour class that teaches you how to get an offer and how to sell something to someone. Because if you can't sell anything, you're not an entrepreneur. You might as well just work for somebody and be the fulfillment person. Whoever markets and sells makes the most money. If you haven't figured that out, that's the true entrepreneur. So if you don't have marketing and sales and you're just good at the thing you do, you better partner with an entrepreneur who actually can drive the marketing and sales, which drives the cash flow. Because a lot of people can do good things. If you can't sell good things and distribute good things, you're not a great entrepreneur. So cost benefit, I would never go backwards. I mean, I get to go on business trips all over the world. You have your own time freedom. Now, time freedom is a little myth from the standpoint of you get to do what you want when you want. And there's a business at hand, which requires clients. So for example, a coffee shop's a business. Wouldn't you be irritated at 8, 7 in the morning whenever you show up for your coffee and the entrepreneur owner just didn't feel like getting out of bed this morning and they're not there? Very quickly, that business will be out of business. So there's just doing business that you need to be open a certain amount of hours. Appropriate hours. And a lot of you, you're emotional entrepreneurs. I made that word up as we came into 2023 because you're not doing the things. You say you're an entrepreneur, you say you're a coach, you're an author, you're whatever you are. My first question to a lot of you is, how often are you open for business? How many hours is your operation available? How often is your phone answered? I have somebody 8 to 10 hours a day, every day, 5 days a week, and Saturday mornings on a phone, answering phone Old school, live, high touch, because that's who I want to be as a business and a culture. So are you even open for business? How do people get a hold of you? So these are all the entrepreneurial things you got to think about. I think the cost benefit is always a yes. Is it right for you? I don't know. That's up to you, your family. Quite frankly, it's up to you here. Are you motivated, and do you care enough about other people to serve them and bring your gift and talent out? Because you'll be paid a lot of money for it. I've made hundreds of millions of dollars bringing my gift to market, but it wasn't without a lot of, bumps in the road. So just know that's going to be there. Mentoring and guidance will get you through it with a lot more ease and grace. So cost benefit is huge. The departments, you're going to have to hire a team right away. So let's talk about the basics. In my mind, how would you get started? You got to get incorporated. Before the end of a tax year that you start your company, you have to be incorporated. You've got to do the Ask RMS system that I talked about below. It's only $297 a month. If you can't afford $297 a month to just get started to get a database, people interested in you, that's what that is. Everyone interested, you can put their name, phone number, and email. Every follower, every Facebook person, Telegram person, WhatsApp person, LinkedIn person, you put them in your database. And then you're going to start surveying them and talking to them and having conversations with them. What do they want from you? Because you're an expert. And then you're going to sell them something. You're going to set up your banking and your accounting. So getting incorporated and getting that RMS system are your first two moves. In fact, just those two moves will take really equates to, in my mind, two virtual assistants, because all this automation will be done. You just have to produce content and make the sales and then do the fulfillment. So it's doable. It's extremely doable. We make millionaires all the time. We make 100,000ers all the time. Is it hard to be an entrepreneur? Depends on your mindset. Depends if you choose it to be hard, or do you choose to lean in and really learn, be mentored, guided, and get out here and make a ton of money and change a lot of lives. Because a lot of you say you want to change lives and you're not doing a thing that looks like that behavior. So to continue learning, I want you here every day. Subscribe to my channel, click the notification button. Share this with 5 or 10 people. You need an environment of a lot of support. Lean into our Law Carls. Join my Ask Loral membership if you go to askloral.com. For $17 a month, be in my membership. You can ask me any question 24 hours a day. We're right there helping you, guiding you. Binge here on my YouTube channel, like really consume the business, the entrepreneurial lessons, the credit lessons, the corporate lessons. There are hours and hours and hours of really free learning here. Or you can actually strike a check, get some tuition, and get close, and come have some one-on-one time with me. I'd love to help you get started. I love making entrepreneurs. Are you right for it? Let's see. Talk to you tomorrow.